A brand new image from Avatar 3 Fire and Ash is making fans buzz with anticipation as it shows what looks like a very intense and emotional reunion between two major characters, Colonel Quaritch and his son Spider. In the photo released by Empire, the tension is visible as Quaritch tries to connect with Spider, while the younger boy looks away, clearly uncomfortable. This image alone hints that the next chapter in James Cameron's Avatar saga is going to dive deep into their messy relationship, which has been anything but typical or loving. Let's go back a bit and look at how their story unfolded so far. In the first Avatar movie, Quaritch, played by Stephen Lang, was the main villain. He fought fiercely to destroy the Nausicaa and Pandora's natural world, but in the end he was killed. However, as fans know, death doesn't mean the end in Avatar. In The Way of Water, Quaritch was brought back in the form of a Nausicaa avatar. This gave him a second chance to wreak havoc, and he did just that. His actions led to the heartbreaking death of Jake Sully and Neytiri's eldest son, Needium. Quaritch's return also brought up a complicated situation with Spider, his biological son. Spider, whose real name is Miles Socorro and played by Jack Champion, was left behind as a baby and raised by Jake and Neytiri. He grew up alongside the Sully kids, loving them as his real family. So when his actual father came back as a completely different being, with the same cruel mindset, it turned Spider's whole world upside down. In The Way of Water, Spider was stuck in a moral war between the father he never really knew and the family that raised and protected him. At the end of the second movie, even after everything Quaritch had done, including endangering the people Spider cared about, Spider still chose to save him from drowning. That choice shocked many fans. Was it out of pity? Was it instinct? Was there a flicker of hope that his real father could change? Those questions remain unanswered, and Fire and Ash might finally address them head-on. Stephen Lang recently opened up to Empire magazine about where Quaritch and Spider's relationship is heading in the upcoming movie. According to him, their reconnection isn't built on love or understanding. It's built on necessity. That alone sets a very uneasy tone. He made it very clear that this relationship will involve betrayal, manipulation, and confusion. Lang said that Quaritch is trying to understand Spider, who confuses him. Surprisingly, there's a hint that Quaritch might even feel something like love or admiration toward his son, emotions we rarely associate with such a cold-hearted character. But don't get it twisted. Lang warned that even as their relationship develops, it won't be all warm and fuzzy. It might seem like the two are getting closer, but danger is always lurking in the shadows. As Lang put it, when enemies cooperate, you can be sure betrayal is just around the corner. That's a very chilling thing to say about your own son. It shows that Quaritch sees Spider not as family, but as a potential tool or a threat. So what does all this mean for Avatar: Fire and Ash? Well, it suggests that the emotional core of the film might focus a lot more on Spider than fans expected. We're going to see him walk a tightrope between two very different worlds. On one side, there's the Sully family, the ones who raised him, protected him, and lost a son because of his biological father. On the other side is Quaritch, a man who represents everything Spider was taught to fight against, yet who shares his blood. This kind of conflict can't be resolved easily. Spider is at a point in his life where he's seeking identity, belonging, and truth. The temptation to explore his bond with Quaritch might be strong, especially if his adoptive family starts to feel distant or broken due to past losses. But at the same time, Spider isn't blind. He knows what Quaritch is capable of. He's witnessed it firsthand. So even if there's a tiny sliver of fatherly love coming from Quaritch, it's always going to come with a price. Lang also hinted that Quaritch might try to manipulate Spider into trusting him more. He might use moments of emotional bonding to pull Spider closer, only to twist that bond later for his own goals. That's a scary thought. But it also shows that Avatar: Fire and Ash is gearing up to be not just a visual masterpiece, but an emotional one too. The stakes aren't just about Pandora anymore. They're about broken families, painful choices, and the struggle to do what's right in the face of deep emotional conflict. The upcoming movie may also use this complex father-son storyline as a way to push Spider toward a major turning point. If Quaritch goes too far, and it seems like he will, Spider might be the one to finally stop him for good. That would be a huge character arc, turning Spider from a confused and emotional teenager into someone who takes a stand for what he believes in, even if it means going up against his own father. It's also worth remembering that Avatar 3 is only part of a larger saga. James Cameron has plans for at least 2 more movies after this one. So even if things don't fully resolve in Fire and Ash, we're definitely going to see seeds being planted for future confrontations. Maybe this will be the film where Spider truly understands who he is and what kind of man he wants to become. That kind of internal journey is just as epic as any battle scene. Another angle to consider is how this relationship might impact the bigger story involving Pandora. Spider might unknowingly carry important information or emotional leverage that could help or hurt the Nausicaa. If Quaritch uses Spider to get closer to Jake, Neytiri, or the Omaticaya clan, it could lead to a betrayal that changes everything. But if Spider turns the tables and uses his connection with Quaritch to mislead or defeat him, then he becomes one of the heroes of the story. The new image from Avatar, Fire and Ash, might seem like just a quiet moment between 2 characters, but it actually tells us so much. It hints at a story full of emotional turmoil, hidden motives, and dramatic choices. Spider's body language in the picture, looking away, arm out, keeping his distance, screams discomfort and mistrust. Quaritch, on the other hand, seems to be trying to engage, maybe even plead his case. It's going to be fascinating to see how this scene plays out in the actual movie. In the end, Avatar 3 is shaping up to be more than just another sci-fi adventure. It's going to challenge our understanding of family, loyalty, and redemption. Can a villain like Quaritch really change? Can Spider forgive a father who has caused so much pain? And how much will that forgiveness cost? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the reunion between Quaritch and Spider is going to be explosive, and fans better be ready for emotional fireworks, as big as the visual ones Cameron always delivers.